Friends, we will see some theorems on countable sets. The first theorem that we will see is this: the countable union of countable sets is countable if A1, A2, A3, etc. are countable sets, then union n is equal to 1 to infinity an is countable In words, we could express this theorem as the countable union of countable sets is countable. The countable union of countable sets is countable. Is countable. Proof. What is countable set? We have seen that elements of countable set can be represented in the form S1, S2, S3. So we can count the elements of countable set in this fashion: first element, second element, and third element. Here we have a countable collection of countable sets. Let me call this collection as TOE. So TOE is collection of all countable sets. Note that it is countable collection of countable sets. What it means? TOE itself is countable set because we can count the elements of TOE as first set, second set, third set. Further, every set in the collection TOE is also countable. Let me write these facts. TOE is countable collection. TOE is countable collection of countable sets. Countable sets. So it means two facts. So TOE is countable. TOE itself is countable. And secondly, AI is countable. Each AI, that is every set in the collection TOE, AI is countable for I is equal to 1, 2, 3 and so on. Okay. As I have explained that countable set can be put in this way. Let us put A1, the set A1, or let us represent A1 as A11, A12, A13, A14 and so on. Similarly, let us represent the set A2 as A21, A22, A23, A24 and so on. In general, we will represent nth sets an as an1, an2, an3, an4 and so on. Such a representation of sets is possible because each of the set AI is countable. We are making use of this fact. Each of the AI is countable, so we can represent the sets in this way. Further, we assume that these sets are pairwise disjoint. That is, no element is repeated. That is our assumption while proving that this union is countable. Or another way to get rid of this assumption is that while counting, we can remove the repeated elements. That is also the way to get rid of this assumption of pairwise disjointness. So, what will be the union? The union n is equal to 1 to infinity an can be pictorially represented in the following way. Note that union consists of all of these elements. So collectively we are trying to represent these elements. Simply I'll put the elements of set A1. This is a pictorial representation of the union, which I will try highlight here. Union n is equal to 1 to infinity an, and I am trying to represent it pictorially. So I will write the elements of set 1 here. In order to have some way of counting, I'll keep space between them. A1 1, A2 1, A3 1, A4 1 and so on. These three dots denote that there are infinitely many elements in the set A1. Next, I will list the elements of set A2, A2 1, A2 2, A2 3, A2 4 and so on. Next, the elements of set A3, A3 1, A3 2, A3 3, A3 4 and so on. The elements of A4, set A4, I am listing in this way: A4 1, A4 2 and so on. This will continue for next sets. So see what we have done here. We have represented the union pictorially here. Now we want to count the elements of this union. So we need to develop a way of counting these elements. So in order to count these elements, I begin with A1 1 and then I count the element A1 2. Then I count the element A1 2 and A2 1. After that, I count the element A1 3 and A2 2, A1 3. After that, you may guess this way of counting will continue. I count A1 4, then A2 3, A32 and A41 and so on. So this way of counting will give us a one-to-one correspondence between I and elements of union n is equal to 1 to infinity an. This is the key idea behind the proof of this theorem. The countable union of countable sets is countable. So this picture represents the union, and let me give another way of writing this set an. So first element that we count is A11. The next element that we count is A12. Next A21. After that A31. Then A22. Then A13 and so on. So we have a way of counting the elements of in this union: first element, second element, third element and so on. This is first element, second element, third element, fourth element, fifth element, sixth element and so on. So basically this gives the proof that set of all elements in the union is countable. Let me further explain the idea involved here in the counting. For the element Aij, we define the height of Aij as, for the element Aij having subscript I and superscript j, so it is ith element in the jth set. It is the element in the set Aj. It is ith element in the set Aj. So height of Aij is defined as I plus j. So how many elements are there of height 2? There is only one element of height 2 and it is A11. So one element of height 2. One element of height 2. How many elements are there of height 3? As you can observe, these elements are connected by diagonal lines. The basic idea of this counting you may now be able to get. We are connecting the elements of equal height by diagonal lines. So A12 and A21 are two elements of A12 and A21 are two elements of height 3. There is only one element of height 2. There are only two elements of height 3. What about the number of elements of height 4? Again, you can tell me by using this diagram. Height 4. How many elements are there of height 4 which are diagonally connected? So you can observe this diagonal line gives us the element of height 4. A31, A22 and A13. So there are three elements of height 4. There are three elements of height 4. Continuing in this way, in general, for height n, there will be exactly n minus 1 elements of height n. So this specific pattern of listing and counting elements justifies the fact that union n is equal to 1 to infinity an is countable because we can count the elements. Let me explicitly, rather than saying explicitly, I would say pictorially write down a one-to-one correspondence between I and the set union n is equal to 1 to infinity an. So I will write here I and union n is equal to 1 to infinity an. I'll write 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and so on. The first element which we are counting is a11. The next element, the next two elements of height 3 which we are counting is a12 and a21. a12 and a21. Next three elements of height 4 which we are counting are a31, a22 and a13 and so on. So in this way we can go on counting. This is a one-to-one correspondence between the set I of positive integers and union n is equal to 1 to infinity an. So this one-to-one correspondence justifies or proves the fact that union n is equal to 1 to infinity an is countable. This completes the proof. I would like to give some remarks about this proof. First remark is that this proof is non-rigorous. There are different ways of writing or giving proofs in mathematics. It is not rigorous. There may be a student or teacher of mathematics who can challenge this proof. It is non-rigorous. What it means that why is it non-rigorous? Because we are not giving any explicit formula. We cannot say that this picture is a proof. In mathematics, we have to give proof rigorously. But in the first level course of real analysis, this proof is okay. That's all I can say. It is non-rigorous because we are not giving any rigorous formula of counting. For example, I am not giving what will be Fn. It will get mapped to what? Second, there are some subtle things involved in this proof. We are assuming that each AI can have exactly one representation of this form, AI1, AI2 and so on. So we are assuming that each AI can be represented uniquely in this way. Indirectly, we are assuming or we are making use of the axiom of choice. So no proof can be given of this theorem without making use of axiom of choice. So if you are not completely satisfied with this proof, I can give you one reference for this theorem. You refer to Topology, a standard reference on topology by J.R. Munkers for rigorous proof of this theorem, that countable union of countable sets is countable. Thank you.